Could I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45. Okay, hello, humans, earthlings.
People of Earth, how are you?
And hello, Adrian.
Yo, Adrian, we did it.
So here we are. Welcome to an episode. I'm Ty of Art by Ty, here with Adrian. You're watching The Dish, our DOD45 Show bonus content from last week's episode with Kid Koala. I'm going to try to perk up some energy. We just recorded like the whole hour and a half and realized the audio was not recording. So, like, I don't know. So it's just, that just sucks when that happens. It's kind of one of those things. But anyway, we'll just push on through. The audio is re-recording. In this new bonus material that we call The Dish, it's not really new anymore. It's about our 6th episode. We ask our guests to reveal answers to some of their first, worst, and favorites. It's a simple format that often leads to funny and engaging conversations. So yeah, if you have any first, worst, or thirst questions, so we can change them up every episode. If you have any that you think are good ones, email them to us at ty@dod45.com or post them to our DM us at DOD45W on Instagram or post them or whatever. Hey, here's what I want to do. Here's what I'm going to do real quick. Do you want to hear some 3 interesting facts about a koala?
Mm-hmm. Definitely do.
Okay. These are 3 totally different ones, by the way, because I know you don't like to rehash. No one does. No one likes to rehash conversations. But here we go.
Play out the same conversation
play out the same.
twice.
Did you know, can you guess how long a koala sleeps?
12 hours.
Oh, shit. No. 18 to 22 hours a day. They need so much sleep because eucalyptus leaves, which is their primary food source, they are low in nutrients. So, yeah.
That's probably why I need so much sleep too.
You eat eucalyptus?
No, I have a low nutrient diet.
Do you know, I guess their habitat is eucalyptus trees. They use them for shelter, sleep, and food. And then here's one other fact. Did you know that koalas have opposable thumbs on their hands?
I think I do, but I didn't.
Is that like chimpanzee or is that like us?
Like
ours are what do they call it?
Do too.
Opposable? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they have that so that they can grasp onto the branches. And then the third fact is, do you know what baby koalas are called?
Johnny's.
Johnny's? Joey's. They are Joey's because, yes, they are. They're
Marsupials.
Is that what a kangaroo is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. There's our 3 facts about koalas, and I used those 3 facts because our guest who we had on last week was Kid Koala. And so let's just go right into his dish questions. Kid Koala, by the way, is on Patreon. Join him there for his weekly. You can sign up by being a Patreon member. You can view his weekly drawing sessions. It's music to draw to. They're really cool. He plays really cool music on Monday nights. So yeah, become a Patreon member with Kid Koala. He's also currently touring Euphonia Must Fall and Storyville Mosquito in San Francisco. Both of those shows he's doing in San Francisco. I'm really sad we'll be missing that, but just financially and time-wise, it's just not a good time for us to do it. Even though he has offered to sort us out some tickets for the show, but we'll do that some other time in the future. Hopefully he'll tour the show again next year. Also, Kid Koala will be performing with Deltron 3030 at the Atmosphere Red Rocks show, which also features Method Man and Redman, Scratch Bastard, and No Fun. That's on August 16th at Red Rocks. So go out to that, enjoy that. All right, let's get to Kid Koala's bonus content. Let's set the table. Last week was our guest, Kid Koala. Turntablist turned innovator from Montreal, Canada. He's massively creative, hardworking, and an all-around fun, inspiring individual. He's an author, artist, musician, theater producer, and composer. You name it, Kid Koala does it. We're fortunate to have him as a guest. And if you haven't watched the episode from last week, please press pause here right now and go watch that first. That'll make this dish episode a lot more enjoyable to watch. All right, I'm ready to be served. I'm hungry. This is The Dish with Kid Koala. Thanks again for joining us. Now let's hash this out. Time for your dish of your first worsts and thirsts.
All right.
What was the first concert you went to as a kid?
I remember my sister taking me to a concert without my parents. That was sort of a big deal. And it was at Expo 86, I believe. And it was, or maybe around then. And we went to see Aha.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
From that concert, was that when you felt like, oh, I want to perform, or had you already had that in you?
No, I was not. Well, no, I'd say the stuff I'm doing now is more akin to the stuff that I was exposed to before, like Charlie Chaplin films and like Jim Henson's work, and but in terms of music proper, I think it was like when I started playing, it was probably that 88 to 90 era, De La Soul, Public Enemy, Jazzy Jeff. That was kind of my entry point.
Right.
And then I went back from there, both directions in terms of going back into the history of like the DJs that came before that, like Jam Master Jay, and back to Flash and all this cat, and then forward also,
Yeah.
But I think, it was the turntables that really that was the instrument that I had never any problem just wanting to just spend time with and practice and try things and record stuff. And so
that's the love instrument.
Yeah, I mean, piano, again, I came up in classical piano, and it was always for like competitions and recitals and those types of things. And it was always music that, were the standards that you would do with those types of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't like, if I had a different kind of piano experience, maybe it would have been more piano. But I think with scratching, it was just this whole like universe of possibilities. Like, like, can you? And the whole idea wasn't that, hey, you had to do it this way.
Right. There was
the
no
DJ
rules
that went on
attached.
before you at the battle just did this, so now you have to do that. Like, no, you had to do something else. So it was always kind of, as a scene, at least to me, it seemed like the core idea was like just keep pushing it to other styles, or like twist your own energy into it somehow, so that if it was a battle, like people would be like, whoa, I haven't heard that yet, or whatever. And that's kind of still very much a part of like what excites me about it,
Who was your first celebrity crush?
Yeah, I was thinking about this at first. It's funny. So my first, I would say, when it was kicking, when I turned that age where I was going to see movies and it was kicking in, I think it would probably be like the 50s version of Marty McFly's mom, Leia Thompson. Yeah, I was pretty smitten. Well, just it was more the characters. When I was watching movies, I was super into it. But then that led me down to that same era. If you're looking that Leia Thompson was in another movie called Some Kind of Wonderful, which was the screenplay by John Hughes. And I would say I probably went to that because I was like, oh, Leia Thompson's going to love it. But then I was floored by Watts, Mary Stuart Masterson. She played like this drummer who like listened to Sex Pistols and was kind of like Eric Stoltz's buddy, but really like they liked him, but he was like chasing Leia Thompson's character. It was like this whole like weird love triangle thing, and eventually, he realizes like, what am I doing? Like Watts is the one. And so that's the thing. Like, and I think about that. Yeah. Like, oh man, Mary Stuart Masterson. At that point, I don't know, whatever. Like you're young, you're watching things, you're trying to learn about like like relationships from movies and stuff. And then like her whole bit, I need to watch this. It's gonna really, because I saw some clips of her like, wow, this hasn't necessarily dated that well in terms of the pacing. But then I did see some scenes where I was like, oh, I remember why I thought she was so rad. And so much so that Corinne, who's my wife now, and she's the set designer for all our live shows and stuff like that. So we work together a lot. She was offered a gig on a Mary Stuart Masterson film a few years ago, and I'm like, what? You get to go work with Watts? You have to do it.
It's awesome. What was your first paying job?
It was a paper route for the province. That was the last time I was a morning person, actually. I had to do that before school. So, all those early De La Soul Public Enemy records I bought with my paper route money.
Oh.
Yeah, from waking up at 5 a.m. and on my BMX bike and like booting around like the Marple area of Vancouver.
Was it something that your parents had like kind of pushed you into, or were you interested in like, I want to have my own job and make my own money?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't that many options when you're like 12. You can like mow lawns or something, which I also did, but I think it was those gigs were kind of few and far between, and then in the winter it was like totally dead. So the paper route was some way to
it's a good one. Who was the first person you idolized?
Okay, this is lame, but I'm gonna say my parents. It's true.
That's good.
You know what? Well, first of all, like when my mom, for instance, could like do something like just sew something that looks commercial great, and she just did that. Or I remember my father was totally like shocked me with we were also at some restaurant, and then I was like, hey Dad, can you draw me a boat? I just wanted a boat. I thought he was gonna draw like like a sailboat with a little triangle sail or whatever. I was a kid, and then he starts drawing this, I shit you not, it's like a real destroyer or a frigate or something called it. It was like a total like accurate blueprint like, drawing of this battleship with the turrets and the whole thing and the whatever, and then even put numbers on it. And I realized, like, I was like, what? How did you? It looked so real, right? I was like, how did you? And that's the day I also learned he was really kind of fascinated with all the warships and stuff. But yeah, so
and just out of his memory, he just drew it.
He just drew it out of his, and he's a scientist. He's a scientist. He's a biologist.
Yeah.
No, he's a biologist. He was in cancer research.
So you could have been a surgeon.
Yeah, I mean, he was in cancer research in Vancouver, and then he was in toxicology when we moved to Maryland. But it was he had this sort of deep sort of understanding and love of battleship design. I don't know why. So you just kind of threw that out at a restaurant, and I'm like,
you asked him
what?
the right question.
Like literally, I was kind of like, my brain was like, what? But it wasn't even that. Like I was literally just expecting like a triangle sailboat, and when I saw, I was like, my dad can draw something that looks like that's looks like it's out of a book. Like how, And that, I immediately was like, wow. A lot of secret talents here. Sometimes after school, like I'd have to go, whatever reason, like my mom had to take my sister somewhere or something, and then I'd have to go like hang out at the lab with my dad. And he would just like take the time to show me all the electron microscopes and like stuff. I was just like, what? Yeah. It's like, what are you doing?
Did you ever have any interest into science?
I did. I almost majored in physics, to be honest.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
At a high school, I was thinking about doing that, and then I also applied to film school at NYU, which I did get into off of a clay animated film that I did in high school. I got into that, but then I was kind of talked out of it. Well, because I was born in December, so I was 17, and then my mom, the accountant, was like saying, well, 1 year at this school in New York.
Oh yeah.
You could get your whole degree. And then, are you sure you want to make movies when you grow up? And I'm like, I don't know. Sounds fun though. I like movies.
Reasonable.
She's like,
was
are
very-
you ready to like go into like debt forever? And then you know, she didn't put it that way. She's like, just think think about things, you know. But
Very practical approach.
she's really like stealthily like, but she was always like slowly
It's
guiding.
your
it.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah, and here we are. Like I'm still making a movie. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it took
You
a
just-
longer time, but still.
You took a different avenue.
Exactly. So I ended up. She said, "Was there something, you know?" And she said, "You could fall back on like a job, a more pragmatic job." Because to her, everything in the arts was such a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, she's quite right in thinking that. But at the same time, I'm like, if you're passionate about it, you don't even think about
Mm-hmm.
Right.
whether things are going to work or not. You're just like, want to do it. But so I ended up saying, well, it'd be fun to work on Sesame Street, is what it told her, or Muppet Show, like write songs, and there's, you know, Sesame Street has like hand-drawn animation in it and cool stuff. And she says, okay, well, how about if, you know, she said, if Jim Henson doesn't call and offer you a job, like what else could you do? And so I said, oh, well, I don't know, maybe like teach elementary school. And so she's like, yeah, I think that's a good thing to maybe, you know,
Steady.
have a steady job with. And so I think, I mean, to answer even Sage's question, I have friends that I went to school with when we studied to get our elementary school teacher certification. That was my degree here in university, and they're having a blast too. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like I'll come back from tour, it's like, yo, I played this crazy Halloween party. Like, look at some of these like costumes, right? And he's like, oh, we did this Halloween like thing, you know, at our school. Like, check it out. I'm like, no way, like that sounds cool as one.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just sort of, I don't know. To me, it's like, oh, it's kind of like, that's like showbiz. Like, there's no more fickle audience than like 30, you know, 4-year-olds just like sitting there being like, we're bored. Like, how are you going to make math fun? You know,
Yeah.
like you really have to come like with the creative ideas to try to make it engaging sometimes. So I think that would kind of work the same muscles. But
First movie that made you cry.
E.T.
First famous person you ever met.
Maceo Parker.
I am Maceo. I be blowing the soul out of this horn.
That changed my
I'm
life. That
sorry,
show changed my life
Wait,
too.
who? Maceo Who's Maceo?
Maceo Parker was the saxophonist for James Brown and
Okay.
yeah, so he's on all those James Brown records, and you know, when James Brown's just yelling, Maceo, what is that Maceo over there? You know? So we went
Oh,
to
that's cool.
yeah, it was our band got to play open a set, you know, our little college groove band was opening for Maceo Parker, and then just
Oh, that's
that
great.
show was nuts. He was older than I am now. He must have been like early 50s or something, and he played like a 4.5 hour set.
Oh, just wait
And
for it.
And it was crazy, and it was this whole connected experience of the first time just seeing the whole crowd go from this disparate motley crew of people, like old funk fans and like ravers and like hip hop kids and college kids, and like none of these people should technically be in the same club together maybe, but then they just came up and they just started with what Got to Get You or whatever. They just, that track was like 20 minutes long, so they're just like and you could just totally see everybody's like days just melted away or whatever problems they had, and then the whole crowd just, you know, just got on that one, just like, and then for the rest of the 4 hours, if you had the stamina, you were with it. And then I was like, wow, you know, that was like that, man, this
I'm
is
seeing that
live
yeah.
music. Yeah, I was just like, nothing else could have done created that, you know.
Live
Music is truly magic.
live music, especially.
Yeah.
What was your first pseudonym or nickname?
Oh well, Koala Kid.
Well,
Koala Kid.
Yeah. Oh, my sister used to call me Dork all the time. I mean, you know, whatever.
Butthead.
She's like,
that's not one you wanted, though. What's the first thing you bought on credit?
Okay. To be honest, it was probably like a sandwich.
Oh.
By that I mean like in terms of like a credit. When I saw it, I was like, oh, you mean credit, like bank credit? But I was like, no, I was just thinking like the credit card. I remember that day in college, I was like, I have a
credit card.
I have a credit card. I'm gonna buy something, and I think I just wanted to test to see if it would even work.
When was the first time you got stitches, if you ever did?
Yes, on my chin is a swimming pool accident. You know how they always tell you not to run because it's slippery, and so of course, whatever. Kids will be kids. We got into this like tag thing, and then I was like racing and wiped out, and then just bleeding out of my jaw pretty much. Yeah. So.
Oh, and you were young, like much younger.
You gotta list some of those things. Yeah. I'm that case
lesson.
where it was true. I ran and I paid for it.
Yeah.
You proved to the point that every parent says.
Yeah.
And
don't run.
His grandpa had a great one, which was first you laugh and then you cry.
First you laugh, then you cry.
Right.
That was that's our family motto.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you ever recorded into music?
There was I didn't have a bass, like an upright bass. So I recorded like rubber bands stretched around a shoebox.
Wow.
And then I sampled that and detuned it like 2 octaves, and it sounds like a upright bass.
Whoa.
It's crazy.
How old
and
were
it's
you
like,
when you did that?
I don't know, maybe like 12, 13 maybe.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's your mom's DIY coming.
Yeah.
I was like, I was just goofing around. At first, it just sounded more like high notes, like a kalimba or something. But then I was just like messing around on the sampler, like I was turned down. I was like, whoa, let's get some low end here, So that's a good trick. It works.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It's quite warm sounding too, like.
All right, we'll go into your worsts. What's the worst sound?
I thought about this one actually. The worst sound is also the funniest sound, at least between me and my daughters right now. It's the in Dumb and Dumber when Jim Carrey.
When he does that.
Hey, you want to hear the most annoying sound?
In the car. It's so great.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Guys!
That's the really funny scene. That is.
It'd be funny if some DJ actually put that and then just looped it.
Oh,
so that it's way longer.
What's the worst article of clothing?
Just for me personally, I would say it's the winter boots.
Oh.
Which here they're kind of really maybe I just have bad winter boots. They're really, really difficult to put on, and then when you take them off, like the inner boot, it's almost like a ski boot. It's almost, I should just get better winter boots. It's so annoying, the boots that I have, that I just decide to just wear sneakers in the snow and then wreck my sneakers or wet socks the rest of the day.
All right, what's the worst word?
What? The worst word?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, when you said what, I thought maybe that was the worst word.
That one caught me off guard. Yeah. I don't know. There's not any word that particularly like
that you don't like
that I think about. Is like, I can't. Yeah.
What's the worst movie about robots?
Well, I'll tell you, the best movie about robots might be Short Circuit.
Oh, the greatest. Number 5's alive.
Johnny Number 5.
Yeah.
The worst might be Short Circuit 2. I'm just kidding. I don't remember Short Circuit 2.
It was bad.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
What's the worst part of traveling?
Nowadays, it used to be the phone bill.
Oh.
But that's it. You're trying to stay connected at home at the same time as you're gone. But I actually do. I adore travel. I love traveling. I always, try to learn something. I always come back like feeling changed a bit. Like,
does the whole family travel with you when you travel?
We've tried, but my daughters are at that age where they want to be, closer to their friends more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when they were younger, we drag them along, but during the school year now now they're just like no, we got things with our crew, which I understand. And so to answer that question, I remember when Corinne and I were kind of dating, but I was touring a lot, and this was like pre-cell phone ish. Calling from the hotel, it got real. It was like, okay, this is not going to work. So then the next thing would be like we had to get calling cards.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that would be like the not. It would be the one challenge, and we get them back. It's like, okay, I need to find a calling card.
That was such a thing too. Like you would have to, like they would charge you at the hotels when you would make those calls out of state.
Yeah. And then so I could use those cards for certain calls, but then sometimes I would call and just leave a message like, I'm at this hotel with this room, and then she would use a calling card the other direction, or depending on who had a card at the time, So
that's nice. That's nice that is completely done away with now. That is not a problem.
There were some cool workarounds. Like there's a time I remember there was when she was finishing her school. Her grad school at Tisch for Design. We'd be like, oh, is it movie night? And this is like, she'd be like, yeah. Okay, so let's go. So we'd both go to like our respective Blockbusters.
Oh, yeah.
And we would be on it. This was cell phone time, but not smartphone time, but cell phone.
Right. Yeah.
We'd be like, okay. And all right, so we were just like, all right, I'm in the, new release section. What'd you think? Because all the Blockbusters have the same. And it was almost like, we were picking the movie together, and then we get back and we'd have to hit play at the same time, like the When Harry Met Sally type of situation. We're like, and go, or she have to go to the bathroom and they pause.
Watch parties.
But now we're together. We travel together, or
that's nice.
Wasted, but keeping in touch with people at home is always a hard part.
That's a good answer. Remember the workaround with the phones when you would leave it, you'd go like making a collect call, and the way you would do it is you would say the phone number that you were at.
That's a good.
The computer would say, like you would say your name, and you'd go, call me at 244 whatever, and then the computer would say you're receiving a collect call from, and then it would say call me at this number.
And then you just write.
Yeah, that was a whole workaround.
Wow.
Who was the worst bully at your elementary school?
It would have been my sister, actually. She was 3 years old, and to be honest, it was like all in love. But I did get shoved in a few lockers, not by her, but by her
her friends.
Yeah. So, but that was kind of like they were like, yeah, little Eric. I'm like, damn.
And now she's an attorney, so
yeah, so I can't
full circle.
Yeah. What? So I can't sue her? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure you were getting
I'm saying the attorneys are pretty ruthless.
Oh yeah.
Depending on what kind of attorney she is,
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that ever happened to you at a live show?
Oh, okay. This one time I was playing in Milan at this festival, and okay, I don't know if we have time for this story, but I'm gonna cut to the end of it. Basically, the sound lighting guy doesn't speak any English, so I get up there and it's not bright enough for me to see, right? But I was the only DJ on the bill. There were these other kind of theater artists before, and so he thought, oh, here's the party time, and then so he starts like slamming on the fog machine, right? He's like, and I'm like, please, no fog. I need to see the turntables. But he's like, what? More fog? And
oh no!
And then he would so I start playing the beat, and then I'm playing the beat, and the music starts, and he starts hitting the strobe. And the strobe is like really hard to track where my stickers are and stuff, and And so I'm just like, please no strobe. And then he's like, what? More strobe? And then it's like,
oh no,
like even faster. I'm like, what is going on? Anyways, while I'm playing, the beat's going, and then all the fog is like drying my eyes out.
Oh no.
So then I'm start like blinking like this, like and then at one point, like I blink and my eyes got so dry that my contact like folded on itself.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
And then it's like there, and I'm like, oh no, crap. But it's still, I can still feel it. It's here. I just need to get it and put it back in my eye. And then so I reach for it, and while I'm reaching for it, like it flicks off and it lands, but it lands on the record that's actually playing.
oh no.
And so then it's going around and around on the turntable, like, and the beat's going fine, but the needle I can see is just getting closer and closer to it. So I'm like, oh dear, like I really gotta try to get this thing every time it comes around. Like I gotta try to, do the Karate Kid chopstick fly thing, but with the without touching the record because it's playing, right? So I'm like doing this for several rotations.
In the fog.
Yeah.
And then I was like, please turn off the strobe. And then he's strobing, and then of course at that point, like it just appears like a different. That was easily the worst.
Oh man, that does sound awful.
Situation. Yeah.
We'll jump to the favorites, and then definitely get you out of here. What's your favorite board game?
Chess.
Great. What's your favorite instrument sound?
Piano.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite musical?
It's between Porgy and Bess.
Oh. Favorite famous duo?
Those cats from the Mighty Boosh.
Oh, Greg.
Boy, holy shit! You just blew my daughter's head up. They love my
Noel
Boosh.
Fielding and Julian Garrett. Yeah.
So great.
You stop breathing during some of those sketches. You're just like, and you can tell they're just kind of riffing. Yeah, it's insane.
Noel's fantastic.
She was a old Greg for Halloween this year.
Yeah.
Oh no way! Old Greg.
Yeah. Favorite Kurt Russell movie?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Easy, yeah. Favorite late night snack?
Ooh, wonton noodles.
Let's go have some wonton noodles right now, Adrian. Favorite toy as a kid?
Soundwave.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
I actually, it's not the real one.
Let's see it. Here. Oh, not the original.
No, it's the one that I have.
Yeah, it's so Adrian. It's
my mom
Transformers.
got me this one.
So
it's
great.
Cassette Man. Apparently, this was the original, right?
Cassette Man?
I don't know.
But I got clowned when I brought this to school because my friends were like, dude, it's not even the same color blue. This is navy blue or whatever, and there's no Decepticon sticker.
Wait, so is that's the original toy?
Showed this to my mom like at the Bay or whatever. It's a department store up here, and it was like the real Transformers one. And this kid was like, this would be the awesome Christmas present. It's like, this is the only thing I want. And she looked at the price and was like, no, I'm kidding. No, but she did went and get this though, which is so sweet. And now I love it more.
And now
I love that
it's
Cassette Man.
It makes it more interesting.
Yeah. So the answer is Cassette Man.
Yeah, great. Your favorite topic to talk about?
I like inspiration, like the people, what compels people to do what they're into doing.
Finding out what it is.
Like, whatever it is. Like, even if it's like, oh, you're a chef, like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what is it about it? I like learning about those crafts, I guess.
Right.
Every time I talk to anybody, or even like recently, like I met this perfumer named Celine Burrell, and we were working on a project together, and she at the time, which worked for IFF, I think she still does work for IFF, but the way she talks about scent is like music. And I had no idea, like, they call her, a nose. I think that's the actual word. Oh. But she's talking about like, no, this is how the fragrance works. She's like, this is the bass line, this is your long note, this is your top note. And then she's talking about it like as a time-based experience and stuff. And I'm like, whoa. And again, yeah, try and find that harmony and stuff. And
Yeah.
same thing. Like I met a chef, Danny Smiles, and he was talking about one of his dishes that he was working on and how he was trying to balance, like, oh, see, the apple adds the crispness and the temperature and the acid and all this stuff, and you need that to kind of balance with this kind of richer ingredient and all this stuff, and just the whole thing, like, anyways, I digress. It's because I feel like, they're really deep in their field. I'm kind of really deep in my field, and I still see underneath it all there's something similar that's happening.
It's really exciting to listen to people talk about what's inspired, how they're inspired.
Their passions.
Yeah, their passions.
Yeah.
Favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
I'd say it's between Terminator 2 or Twins.
Excellent.
Twins, because it has that Mr. Mix track in it, or the the 2 Live Crew. They did that version of a Yakety Yak where he's like, just hear some cuts on the big screen is always like a win.
Favorite cartoon from when you were a kid?
I would say the 80s Transformers is the one that was like getting me home on time, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to miss it after school. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Do you have a favorite thing to go between 2 slices of bread?
Not really, but I was introduced to this. I was just in Germany, and they gifted me this thing called Biscoff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you tried. Have you tried that?
The cookie?
Yeah.
The Biscoff cookie? Oh yeah.
Well,
I just ate one on the plane yesterday.
Oh, they make a spread.
There's a spreadable in that kind of cinnamon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds
I don't know
good.
if it's my favorite, but I was like, oh, this is new. It's interesting to be like, this many decades in and be like, oh, this is a new
discovery.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know it was a spread.
All right, there you go, folks. We've been served. I'm stuffed. Check, please. How do you feel about your answers?
I think we answered most of the questions, right, to a certain level.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You feel good about them?
I do, yeah.
Okay, good, because they're in the internet forever now.
Oh, okay.
Well, thanks for serving us. We'll be sure to leave a good tip.
Dishes are done, man. Cleans them down to the shop.
Oh, there you go. Thank you so much, Eric, for spending time with us and sharing your answers to your first, worst, and thirsts. We genuinely appreciate it. Kid Koala was a joy to hang out with, and as Adrian says, Kid Koala is like a god to her, but she does not pray.
I didn't say he's a god to me.
Oh, you just mean he's a god, period.
Yeah.
Oh. He's a god that you don't have to pray to, but you could help him continue to be a god by flipping in a little bit of money for any projects that he's making, because that's what we like to do. We like to keep supporting musicians and independent artists, and he's one of those. So I can also report that Kid Koala was able to pick up his kids on time from school. We kept him a little while, but Adrian, this is the Dish episode, so let's ask you 3 Dish questions. What was the first movie that made you cry?
Apparently it was E.T., but
why do you say apparently?
Because my grandpa's sister took me to see it, and then she felt really bad and apologized to my mom because I was only 3.
Oh,
and I just cried the whole time, I guess.
It's sad.
Or the end. I don't know when I cried. I don't remember.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of heart-touching moments in E.T. That's a lot of people's favorite first movie cries. What was the worst, or what's the worst part of traveling?
The sitting.
Oh, like driving, traveling. You hate sitting in the car.
Flying.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just the sitting there? No.
Just sitting. Yeah.
In one spot for long periods of time.
Getting to and from the travel.
Yeah. And then, what's your favorite Kurt Russell movie?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Is that the only one you know?
Overboard.
Oh, did you like Overboard?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. My mom always had it on.
All right, let's share a few videos. These will be the same videos, so Adrian has seen these, but we're going to share them with you anyway. Here's the first video. This is a video from somebody that I follow. It's a video. I really enjoy watching this guy skate. He's got such a cool style. Those are like old school tricks too. Power slides. No one seems to care that cars are coming.
He was paying attention.
I know, but I mean, you see some of these videos of skaters going down hills. Yeah, awesome. That's a video from @SkateFuria on Instagram. It's Matthias Muller Piera de Jesus. He's super impressive skater. That account has a lot of cool skate clips. He's got a cool style. So I don't know where he's from. I'm guessing some sort of Latin country or something. But yeah, really cool videos to watch from him. Here's a time-lapse video from my 1-hour drawing exercise archives. What would you call that guy? That creature.
Slime.
Slime. That's a drawing I did inspired by fellow Canadian Factor Chandelier. Factor Chandelier's song Lawn Chair from his first Storm album. Not a fellow Canadian to us, but you watched Kid Koala, who is from Montreal. Where's Factor's from? Saskatchewan. Anyway, that's a drawing that I did based off that. That drawing and most of the drawings from the DOD45 show, past episodes, are in my book Under an Hour, which is available at artbyty.com. So if you're interested in getting a book, you can get it there. All right, here's a video clip from my cell phone. And that's our daughter and our son's soul from maybe 10 years ago. Oh. That was in Denmark. We were in Denmark for a gallery show, and that was out on like this island thing. It was such a bummer. Soul's such a good kid. I felt so bad when it happened because he was soaking wet and it was really cold and we had to walk. And you know how it's like when your Levi's get wet. It's like they don't ever dry. Anyway, it's like a funny video because that kind of stuff seemed to happen to Soul. So it's not funny, but it's kind of like, oh man, just planted his foot in the wrong spot. Okay, here's a final video. This is a random video from the internet.
Penny, why should I know? This is sound of the boss.
He's got such a cool voice.
So, my fight them on the wall of them. Lion, you not beg no friend from none of them. You fight them on the wall of them. Little lion, not beg no friend from none of them. So do not get no rotty. Through them with karate. He'll think still I say I'm the Einstein monarchy.
There's a bunch of other clips of him recording that are in there on this page. So that's Sizzla. I really dig his style. That's a clip from at Little Lion Sound on Instagram. It's Nicholas Muri. He's a DJ and producer from Evidence Music and Little Lion Sound. And then I was mentioning to you in the other one, but we used to do a painting, a stencil painting of Sizzla. I've been a long time Sizzla fan, but I don't listen to his music enough. So anyway, that's Sizzla, and that's why I share that. Okay, cool. Thanks again, Kid Koala, for joining us on the show. Be sure to go check out kidkoala.com, where you can purchase merch, vinyl, including his double LP board game set. called The Creatures of the Late Afternoon. That's really cool. We have that. Also see his show schedule and how to get tickets to his Storyville Mosquito show and his Nephonia Must Fall show. Like I said, that's in San Francisco, and I think he's doing a short run in Quebec. Also catch him with Deltron 3030 at the Atmosphere Red Rock show on August 16th. Our Dish episode is we put these out to have some fun, but we hope through it you get to know our guests. So hopefully you got to know Kid Koala a little more personally, which in turn would hopefully inspire you to want to go to see his continued success and help him continue success, support him financially. So, and you do that by buying merch, vinyl, going to live shows, sharing him, joining his Patreon, all that stuff. In the comment section below or on our Instagram, post to us what was your first movie cry? What do you feel like is the worst part of traveling? And what's your favorite Kurt Russell movie? Share those with us, and we'll share them on our social media pages, or we'll even speak about them later in episodes. This weekend we'll be in Minneapolis for the Loring Park Art Show. We used to do a show called Uptown Art Fair in Minneapolis. I love that city. I love Minneapolis. I love that area. I'm sad to see that Uptown show has gone away. Hopefully it'll come back. But for any of you out there in Minneapolis, this is your chance to catch us there at Loring Park Art Show this weekend. That's in Minneapolis. Next weekend, our episode with Nightwalker and AM Early Morning airs, and that's a super fun episode. It was recorded with the live audience at my gallery show in Chicago. That's really fun. There's a lot of good laughs there. Following that episode is an episode with Rob Sonic. Yes, can't wait for y'all to see that. Also, Old Boy Rhymes, and our pal Cast One returns for an episode. We'll be at Rhyme Fest show in Los Angeles at the Torch Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Everybody's going to be there. That's going to be fun. If you see us there, please say what's up to us. Let us know that you're watching or listening to our show. Looking forward to meeting past DOD45 guests in person, like AWOL1, Gel Rock, DJ Qbert, and hopefully we'll be able to run into Exit if he's going to be there performing with Shapeshifters. Thanks to Sage Francis for hooking us up with tickets to that. We're going as guests of his. I would like to have like an official press badge too to record with the people that we don't know, but hopefully we're going to get some recordings with people that we do know or past guests. Also looking forward to running into Slug and DJ Abilities in person again, and hopefully we can run in with Grouch and Eli. Maybe they'll remember us this time. Maybe not. Who knows? And I am really looking forward to Dilated Peoples and Funk Dubious. That's going to be a killer show. Rhyme Fest, Los Angeles, August 17th. Middle finger to X, Twitter rags at DOD45 Show. I've been using that a little bit. We do have a Facebook, but nobody seems to be using Facebook, or maybe some people do. Who knows? Subscribe to our DOD45 song share playlist on Spotify called DOD45 Loves, LUVS. If there's any songs in there that you like, be sure to support the musicians and music that's in that playlist through the people's Bandcamps or their websites, all that stuff. You know all that. Adrian, do you have any words to say before we get out of here?
Take down your Halloween.
Oh, are people's Halloween stuff still up?
I'm just kidding. I really don't have anything to say. Probably some people's are.
Yeah.
But and probably not our listeners.
Yeah.
Unless it's all year decor.
Well, unless they put it up and then they're on tour. Oh, yeah, like all year Halloween decor, like at our pals at...
you know a few people.
Yeah, with the taco, Terror Tacos. Yeah. They still have my art hanging up in there. If you're ever in St. Louis, people stop in at Terror Tacos. Yep. All right. The rest of the socials are mentioned at the end of this in the credits. Please stick around to watch those and see people we're thankful to be affiliated with. All right. From all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy drawing, happy conversing. Thank you so much, Kid Koala, for spending your time with us. Thanks to you people for conspiring with us. And please pick up after your pets.
And I actually don't care about your Halloween.
Listen.
DOD45.
Thank you for joining in on yet another episode of the DOD45 Show. Please hit the subscribe or follow button so that you never miss an episode. You can even go one step further by leaving us a review on the YouTube stream or on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever it is that you stream our show from. You can find me at Art by Ty on all the socials or at artbyty.com. And if you'd like to follow the DOD45 Show on social media, we're at DOD45W on Instagram, or you can go over to our website at DOD45.com where you can shoot us an email, join our mailing list, and watch all of our past episodes. Consider joining us for a live chat on the YouTube premieres of episodes every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace.